My wife may be cheating on me right now. It has been 2 weeks since she got a temporary contract in Italy for 1 month. She was hesitant to take it because we had not been together for more than 2 months this summer due to the pandemic. However, she has been without a job since the beginning of the pandemic, and because I want what's best for her, I encouraged her to take it. We ended up staying together for only 1 week in late September, and everything was perfect, as it always has been when we were together. However, less than 1 week after she left, she was not available to FaceTime a lot, and I started to have a weird feeling about the whole thing. She was talking about this guy and looked happy, and it felt like something wrong was starting to happen. I didn't ask because I didn't want to look like a jealous and possessive husband. I usually hide and try to deal with those kinds of feelings because I judge them bad for both of us. But she started to talk more and more about him, and she was showing weird irrational feelings that I didn't understand. I started to have nightmares, and 2 days ago, she finally said that she had feelings for him, more sexual attraction, not love. He is the kind of perfect Italian guy, if you know what I mean. He brings her breakfast when she wakes up late, and other things like that. She has been under pressure because of her work there, and her boss is crazy, and because they are working together, he understands her. However, everyone, except the boss and her guy, speaks only Italian, and I guess the guy has a sexy accent too. Anyway, she asked me for permission to feel free with him today because she is under a lot of pressure, and she had a few breakdowns because she feels bad and guilty about the way she feels for him. She said that she feels trapped in our relationship because of the expectations I have, and she would have never thought to tell me something like that because she feels like another person right now. She wanted me to say go ahead, but I said no. She took it badly, using it as an excuse that we are still young, 28, and that I am her first real boyfriend, and she never got to do her experiences. I understood that it was useless to bargain because it would just break down my marriage right now instead of maybe later, and that it would push her into his arms. To be short, she is going to try not to sleep with this guy, but she said that she probably will because she needs someone who understands her right now, and because we haven't seen each other a lot in the last few months. She's supposed to come back home when her contract ends in 2 weeks, and she said she loves me, it's just an experience, and we'll figure the whole thing out together, like we always do. However, I don't know if I'm going to be able to trust her ever again. I was planning to have kids and stuff because I thought it would last forever, but now I don't know what to think, and I definitely can't sleep without pills. Would it be better to wait a few months or a year before making a decision? She came up clean before actually going insane, and she looks sincere about wanting to stay with me. Should I break up as soon as she comes back? It's only been 6 years, 3 years married, we don't have a kid yet, and I love her more than anything in the world, but I keep imagining her sleeping with an Italian dude. I am lost and ashamed, and I don't know what to do. Any comment is greatly appreciated. Update 1. I'm going to make an appointment with the lawyer tomorrow. I think I have been pretending that the whole thing isn't real, and it's also why I didn't contact my family or friends. I'm going to do that tonight. Today, I cleaned the apartment of all of our pictures. I couldn't bear to see us so happy together in so many different circumstances. Now I have to accept it and make it real by my action. It is just so hard, mate. It was perfect for 6 years, and in a couple of days, my whole world is upside down. I just want to stay in the illusion that things are going to work out, that as soon as she comes home, everything will be like before. I know it's false, and I know I'm lying to myself, but I wish I could close my eyes and keep dreaming because right now my heaven has turned into hell. For the first time in my life, I was happy. She was a serious person with moral values, and she always judged other people for their behavior. And after all this time, she asked to cheat on me. How could she possibly be the same person I married? I thought about every excuse and tried to justify the way she is acting in 1,000 different ways. Maybe he is drugging her, maybe it's the stress bipolarity, the problems she had in her childhood. I just wanted to hide the truth because the truth sounds so fake that I still cannot believe it. I read all the messages here saying to divorce, and at first, I was surprised. I was expecting people to try to take her side and explain to me that sometimes in a relationship, crap happens. I still don't understand the situation I am in, but I know what I have to do now. But God, just why? I always tried to be the best husband. It felt like my responsibility, like my first meaning in life. Right now, I feel guilty even if I know that I did my best. I had a project that week and I was not as available as usual. She was so stressed and so emotional, it was hard on me too. But that's why she spent time with the guy. Maybe it's why her feelings appeared. I don't know, man. I'm just broken inside. I just can't believe it. Not her, not us. When we FaceTimed and she told me the truth about how she wanted to screw him, I stayed calm. I didn't want to break those 6 years like that. I thought, what we have is so precious. I didn't want to be impulsive. So I tried to make her understand what she was saying. I tried to avoid pushing her into his arms. But now I know that even if they didn't sleep together in the end, even if she keeps apologizing and even if she will be saying that she still loves me and that the whole story was a stupid mistake, that it will never happen again and that our future still exists, I have to do it. I have to get a divorce. Update 2 months later, divorce and process. It's a hard time right now. I have a lot of projects to finish and I do not have a lot of time. I am doing okay, I'm not in deep depression or dealing with it badly. Most of the pain was to realize that the person I married was not the person I thought she was. I believe that people change. I also believe that at any time, you can be a totally different person and not recognize yourself. I am stronger than I thought I was. I thought she was everything, and I never thought I could get out of that marriage, to be totally honest. As some of you noticed, but to be betrayed like that from the person I thought I knew, that was an interesting experience. I'm going to talk a little bit about my process, maybe it can help someone. I read a lot of philosophy, Nietzsche, Sartre, Epictet, Marcus Aurelius, etc., and some psychology, like real stuff. Carl Jung mainly, but Freud helped me as well. I had the chance to be educated, so that helped me to understand myself and what was happening. I stopped seeing one of my shrinks because she was not helping at all by going back to my childhood and the problem I had with my dad. Come on, my dad is not the issue, I am freaking divorcing. I realized that despite my education, I was blind by love for her. But I am not awake yet. The road is long to a total recovery. So mainly, I had those nightmares of her with him. I never saw his face, and that helped me a bit to process. I had visual illusions of seeing her with him out of nowhere in the middle of the day, but mainly in the evening when I was tired. I kept hearing her say to me, I want to sleep with him, her asking for permission and stuff that she told me and really traumatized me. It was hard. I had a psychosis moment, and I thought she was actually there beside me, but I took some heavy medication, lorazepam. I was not going well back then. I realized by my reading that if it was coming to me, it was my unconscious talking to me and telling me, you need to realize your situation. You need to see who she really is. I stopped fighting against myself because I was the cause of all that. She did what she did, but it was me torturing myself with that. So I decided to listen to myself, to listen to my nightmare and my illusion, because I understood that it was part of me that wanted to help me, not torture me for no reason. I accepted my situation. I accepted the suffering for what was one of the hardest nights of my life. I wrote everything for 5 hours, all the ideas that came up in my mind. I wrote sometimes 20 times the same sentence she told me and that I kept hearing. I wrote about 15 pages, but I processed through everything. I listened to myself and wrote what came to me and needed to be written. That was 2 weeks ago, and since then, I have been getting way better. However, I would not say that I am doing great. I accepted the shadow, the other part of myself, and I am listening to it because if I don't, it will express itself in one way or another. This week was particularly harsh. I'm not working well and have a lot to catch up on a few projects. I have a really good doctor. I see her every week, and she told me to work today and take tomorrow off. I see her every week because I am still on medication. I take 10 milligrams of diazepam to sleep every night. We are trying to lower the dose, but right now, I'm in a bit of a melancholic period, so it's complicated. I'm also trying not to smoke. It used to be a habit, but I stopped for her, so it's tricky. But I'm trying not to fall back into a total nicotine dependence. Sometimes, I need to smoke, and it's the only drug that helps me with my mind, on which I am still productive. But I don't smoke that much. My family is expecting me to be happy during this period, and it is easy to act, but it's exhausting me. I mean, I do not want to be the buzzkill during this period, especially because I used to be with my family-in-law, and it's my first Christmas and New Year's with my mom in a long time. Nobody understands how hard it is for me, and I don't want to show any weakness. Call it pride or whatever, but only my doctor and the shrink know how hard it really is for me. The pain is still there, but I am getting stronger right now. I feel weak, but I guess it's normal to see things like that from the outside. The most important part is that I accepted what happened to me and I am listening to myself. I still talk to her way too much. I know it's bad, but right now, I am focusing on myself. One step at a time, I won't go back with her, but going no contact is too hard for the moment. The doctor said that it was okay, even if it makes the healing process longer. Yeah, it's hard, but I'm holding on, and I hope that you guys are also okay in this difficult period. It can be difficult to be understood. Final update, so for the most important part, the papers are signed. We stayed together for 2 weeks at her apartment, and things went better than I thought. I mean, we didn't kill each other, and she agreed to sign anything. She made the breakup easier than I thought. Thank God. While living together, I got a few panic attacks and ended up taking a small dose of lorazepam every day. But otherwise, that time together was good enough. I have a hard time writing about her right now. I mean, also complaining or explaining what she did to me. I guess it's normal because even if I feel like I see things how they are, I know I am still totally in the fog, as some of you predicted. But it went later than expected when she left for her parents, taking back all her stuff, and realized that it was done for good. She started to come back to me, saying that we made a mistake and stuff like that. Right now, I'm trying to film my day to not think or talk to her because she is making me even more confused. I really try not to take any meds, and honestly, it's easier since she's gone. I'm not yet in that mood of maybe I made a mistake because I'm still rational enough to know that I made the right decision. I don't know how long this weird period is going to last. Maybe I am in a kind of denial of my own situation. The pain in my chest never leaves me, but I am not as upset as I used to be because I am only living day by day. I'm not thinking about the future I lost with her and how I may have wasted years with her. I'm trying to not think about what she did to me or how much she hurt me. I also feel like I really don't want to be in a relationship anymore, and I guess it's normal, but I am disgusted with women in a general way. I guess I am even more hurt that I am accepting it, but it's also why I try not to walk on that long way to recovery alone. I'll let time pass and see how things go. I think that it is the best I can do for myself. I'm reading Stoic philosophy and the New Testament, and it helps me a lot. I have a history of depression, so I booked appointments with professionals because I knew I would end up needing it. It didn't help me yet, but we'll see how it goes. I take sometimes diazepam to sleep, but I try to be responsible. I take fewer pills than when she was in Italy or when we were together. She calls me and texts me a lot, and sometimes I answer. It's hard to pass from everything to zero, and I don't know what I should do about that, but I guess it's also why I'm seeing a professional of health. I should ask them for advice and about that. What do you think? I hope you guys are doing better than me. I feel depressed, but I know I'm not in depression because I can still enjoy small things like a sunset or just the beauty of the forest in the fall.